Rob?
Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues and the Batman universe, and today we're taking a look at the final wave from Mattel, as far as what we're being told, the final DC action figure wave from Mattel. This is the DC Comics multiverse, of course, and this is the KGBeast that is part of the 80th anniversary for Batman wave. So, right off the bat, this is one of those figures I didn't know I wanted until I saw it in front of me. Now, I'd seen some other preview images. I got all my figures from PaulMartStore.com, a great resource for buying action figures and Mattel products and just some different stuff. Really cool guy. I pre-ordered the whole entire wave. I ordered them in twos. For some reason, my Dick Grayson Batman did not ship at the time of filming this review, so hopefully that figure is getting sent to me. But nonetheless, we will continue on through here. Like I said, the KGBeast, the first figure in the wave. Right off the bat, just taking a look at the figure in the package, he looks awesome. He looks great. I've seen some reviews on him already, and I know there are some issues in with the torso because of how they put him together, but seems like everybody's is the same way. But just looking at him here in package, he just looks absolutely fantastic. It's going to be really hard to pick a favorite figure from this wave, I think. Of course, this is the Collect and Connect wave, and there is the Killer Croc Collect and Connect piece. And there's some other side art here. I believe the image art here, I'll have to double check for sure, but I think this is from All-Star Batman wave, written by a series written by Scott Snyder. I think it's really one of the only times the KGBeast has been featured in a DC Comics or Rebirth, maybe other than a few issues here or there. Initially, he was solicited as the Beast, since the KGB isn't really around anymore, but he does have listed as the KGBeast. So the other figures that are in this wave, of course, KGBeast, we're looking at Katana, Alfred, Red Hood, Dick Grayson Batman, and Red Robin. At the time of filming this review, I had already received and bought Red Robin at a local Walmart because I wanted to, so my actual pre-ordered Red Robin arrived with everything else today. The read-up here for the KGBeast, and we will raise the tripod here if you want to read this, but I will read it aloud. DC Rebirth KGBeast, one of the world's best contract killers, the man known as the Beast, is hired to take out the Batman, and that is from the All-Star Batman series written by Scott Snyder. And if you buy all of the figures, you get to put together the massive Collect and Connect Killer Croc. So I can't wait to put this together. I've seen pictures of what he looks like, and he just looks like an absolute mammoth figure. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get the KGBeast out of package, and we will get a closer look at this guy. Here's the KGBeast out of package. And like I said, with him in package, I did not know this was a figure I wanted until I started seeing other YouTubers do reviews of him, and then I actually saw him in store. So I ordered all of my figures from Paul Mart Store, with the exception of Red Robin. I did buy him early because I did want 2 Red Robins. Actually, I want 3. I want to keep 1 in box and then 2 in different displays. But hey, that's Red Robin's review. We'll talk about that later. The KGBeast. So this is the first figure ever for the KGBeast, as far as I'm remembering. Hopefully not, or there'll be an annotation that scrolls right through here. He got some prominence in Batman vs. Superman, and a little couple segments in that movie, and it was, you know, being in the theater going, I can't believe they weren't calling him the KGBeast. Konchesky Shajevich, or whatever his real name is. I just couldn't believe I was hearing it. And The Night of the Beast was a Batman story where he got his start in, but I really associate him with Tim Drake. Once the Tim Drake Robin character came into prominence, Tim constantly kept running into the KGBeast. So that's where I really know this character from. This is on the Masters of the Universe body, and this very easily could have been the Collect and Connect figure. Speaking of which, we have 2 Collect and Connect pieces for Killer Croc, and they are the underoos, well, technically not the underoos, the crotch piece for his jeans, and then his head, which does have some articulation, which is very, very cool. But we will do more of Killer Croc. The paint apps are just really good on this piece. So we'll do more of the Killer Croc in his own separate review, but now for the KGBeast. Just what a really, really good figure this guy is. Man, this is going to be a hard wave to pick, you know, like who is the best figure. And then I'm planning on doing a best of Mattel, because for the most part, I consider all of these figures DC Universe classics, even though it's DC Comics Multiverse and there's some new, you know, articulation in some that the DC UCs didn't have. We're all still putting them with those groups of figures and placing them, you know, in our different sets. So I'm going to do, it's going to be hard to do a top 10 of my collection, and there'll be more on that later. But it's going to be hard to pick my favorites out of this set. But really cool. Now, I have seen some QC issues just because of this waist swivel and torso, because they put in, again, this isn't painted on the rest of the body. Buck is still under here, so they put this nice big almost tunic, or, you know, part of the bodysuit over top of the body that's underneath here. So I think that causes some problems when they're going to, when people do some turning. I've seen the torso pop right off and it pops back on. Mine hasn't yet. The ab crunch is in here, but because of the shirt that they have him with, as his knife just fell out there, it makes it a little hard to get an ab crunch. But you can see he does turn at the waist a little bit, and it's got some ninja stars here off to the side. He does come with some other accessories, and nobody really seems to know what this piece is in his gun piece. I have no idea, and it looks like it holds something, like maybe, again, the knives down here in the boots, each of these come out. And we'll get into more of that with some other figures in the wave. So I don't know if you're meant to trying to put a knife or something in that. I really don't know what this is supposed to do. So I don't know if it's his Swiss Army knife, but nonetheless, you know, you could do some other things with it. The knife that he was holding on to does have a slot that fits into this receptacle piece right here, so it's almost like becomes a bayonet. I think it goes in like so. There we go. So it can go in that way, maybe as he's fighting Robin. It does have some articulation right here at the black almost forearm piece here, so it just does a rotation, so you could have it a couple different ways if you choose to. And again, you can hold all of the knives that he does come with, or those can be slotted down in here. So again, this is the design for KGBeast in Rebirth, and that's what all of these characters are in Rebirth, with the exception of Dick Grayson, Batman. So that is where they got their, I would say multiverse, or just they instead of putting another Batman, Bruce Wayne in here, they gave us a Dick Grayson Batman that I think is long overdue, and we'll cover him in a separate video as well. Since we were moving some of the figure around, let's take a look at the rest of his articulation. So his head is on a great ball peg and probably a disc that's in here. I mean, he can look down very, very far, which is good, being the size that he is. A smaller character, maybe like Damian Wayne, he could look down and make direct eye contact, and he can look, you know, up in the air too. You could see where his vision is. Full rotation in the head. You can get some different tilts out of him a little bit, just for the way that the disc moves, so that's cool. Standard DC Universe Classics arm and bicep swivels, single jointed at the elbows, and this one's still a little stiff. He has a rotation in the hand and a hinge in the hand. We were already talking about the ab crunch and waist. The ab crunch really, I mean, it's there, you can feel it. but it's really not doing much. Has got the new, like, I almost want to say T-joints, but it's not. It's their new design here, and KGBeast and I think one other figure in this set has it. Can't remember right offhand. Now, he doesn't have an upper thigh cut, which I found interesting that he doesn't have that. So his legs can swing out, but it's on like a hinge at the same time, so you can get kind of a, you know, chorus line kick out of it, if you will. Single bend at the elbow, and then a hinge and swivel ankle rocker at the foot. Just a really, really solid figure. Again, when I first heard about the KGBeast, they were listing him as the Beast, and I was talking about his appearance and everything. This is how he looked in DC Comics Rebirth, and his first look for this was in Scott Snyder's All-Star Batman. But just a really, really cool figure. Let me do some size comparisons with some of the other figures in this DC Comics Rebirth multiverse line. And here is the multiverse Rebirth Batman. Now, a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't like this Batman. I really, really do. And I actually really dig the head sculpt on this Batman. I've seen other people swap him out, and people are putting cloth capes on him. I really like it. Now, I did add some black paint to the utility belt, because depending on what book you're reading, is sometimes the pouches on the belt are black. So I've got two of this Batman. One more of a Justice League setup, and one more in my Detective Comics setup. But you can see the size comparison for Batman and the KGBeast. And if I bring up somebody like Batgirl from earlier in the multiverse wave, you can kind of see how she stacks up with the KGBeast and, you know, Batman as well, and just to kind of give you the size. And again, the KGBeast could have very easily been the Collect and Connect figure in this wave. So again, this is going to be hard. This is just a very, very solid figure. Paint apps wise are flawless. I don't see any overspray, just a little bit, maybe down around the boots, but it's nothing that you're going to see where all of the red is on his boots. Everything matches pretty well. You can kind of see where the mold maybe didn't get squeezed tight enough together and glued, but that's just a minor little nitpick if I'm trying to find something to nitpick. Just and also the black wash that is put over top of his tunic vest type thing. So again, a solid figure. And a great figure to have in Batman's Rogues Gallery, that we've gone deep enough with Mattel that we're getting a figure like the KGBeast. And man, this it is going to be hard to pick a top 10 overall, and it just my favorite figure from this particular wave. So final thoughts on the KGBeast: a truly, really good figure. I cannot recommend this guy enough. If you see him in your Walmart, some other online places are going to start shipping out in October. So, I like Big Bad Toy Store is probably going to start shipping in October. Amazon's going to ship in October. But like I said, I got all mine from Paul Mart's store, and Walmart, of all places, started getting them first. So this is where we're going to end this review. Today we've been taking a look at the KGBeast from the DC Comics Multiverse, the 80th anniversary Batman wave, and i.e. the Killer Croc Collect and Connect wave. So as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the BatmanUniverse.net signing off, saying we will see you next time.